So today's Business Hour Live is focused on people don't trust brands, they trust people. Okay, so this month in the Socialite, what we're focusing on is bold money. And I know that wherever you come in, you're going to be at different places. And either way, you're going to get tons of resources wherever you come in. But the business bundles drop to you monthly based on the date that you join. But our focus this month is bold money. Okay, we're going to be discussing the blind spots in businesses for the next 4 weeks. All right, some of the blind spots, and then how that all relates back to your lead pages, which is where you are bringing in your audience, which is where you're making your sales. Okay, so over the next few weeks, I am going to be sharing strategies on how to sell smarter. And if you've been with me for a while, I'm going to cover the basics. So it'll be a great review and even update, because y'all know every time I deliver content, it's with different pointers about that content. So I'm going to start with the basics, and then I'm going to move into more of the complicated strategies. So today, we're going to cover some of your revenue blind spots. I want you to think about, are you missing opportunities to sell to people because they don't know you? They don't know your brand. They don't know what you sell for. In fact, one of the very first things when you join the Socialite, you're led to the different units. The purpose of the units is I purposely want you to end up on that page because I want you to have these basic concepts and understandings about your business and where you are. And those couple of units that you initially land on are to help you really see your business as a business, really understand your business, because a lot of people, believe it or not, they just don't know, they don't understand. So what I want you to understand is it's so important to know who you are. It's so important to know who you're talking to, okay? Because people don't trust brands. They trust people, all right? You can have the best product. You can be the cutest and the funniest and the most, entertaining. You can have the most followers. You can throw the most money at a problem. But if you don't show up consistently in some way, daily or every other day or on some type of schedule, then you're not going to get the conversions that you're looking for. So I know this because this is why it's so important for me to show up for people in different ways, because some businesses just start with the sale. They start with, okay, I've done this and I've done that and I've accomplished this. Now you come and buy it, right? But you coming into that business. So I've done all these things. I've worked with these different celebrities. I've done this business for 17 years now, over. I was 7 months pregnant with Chrissy. I've done this business for all this time. None of that means jack to you. Okay, that's the next thing that comes. All right, so if you and I have not established a rapport, who actually spent time getting to know me before you purchased something from me, or before you started following me, or checking for someone? When we just came on, I was talking about something I posted in my story, and to check it out, and what did I get? I saw it already. It's because I've created that relationship and that bond with you, and that's because I show up consistently someplace every single week. And in most places, it's Instagram stories. Every day I show up so that we can have that relationship and build our KLT, which is the know, like, and trust factor. That's what we're building, because I don't care what anyone says, you cannot just be like, you can't be fake. When you're showing up every single day, you cannot be fake, because it will show through. Your personality will show through. Who you are shines through. And so at some point, people are getting to the core of you, and either they are for it or they're not. And that's okay, because that is the whole point. The whole point is to get to the person that you are for. So by me talking and showing up for you guys daily in some way, and even if it's 3 or 4 times a week, showing up consistently though, It does several things. Number one, it gets my people used to seeing me, right? Who checks for me at some point? Okay, it gets my people used to seeing me in a consistent way. Number two, it gets them looking for me. They're looking for me. Last night, our Socialite meeting got messed up. I had technical difficulties. I had something planned for exactly an hour and 15 minutes after that. So I couldn't even come on and still give it because I would have rushed through. But my girls were there and they showed up and they were ready. And I was there and ready and I recorded, except I know that they're looking for me because the Facebook group went crazy. Tori is missing in action. Where is she? We're going to send out a search party because they know I'm never late. And if I'm late, they know something is going on technically, because I don't just not show up for them. That's something I would never do. I value time. I value my time, and I value the time of other people. So, if you're not seeing me, something is up. That creates consistency with my audience and trust. Okay. It also positions me as an expert. So if I constantly come on and I can talk to you about asking you, they love when I do those on the spot questions that I don't have time to think about. And that's okay, because my brain is like, the business whisperer, the brand whisperer. I always say this. These are just things that are innate for me, and then I've done the work in the school to hone them, but they're innate. So I can help a lot of people with that process of cutting through some of the things that aren't necessary, because I know this formula works. I've done it for nearly 2 decades. It is a working, viable formula. Let's get it. Okay, skip all this other noise and nonsense. Tell me, who's been in a coaching call with me or even on a live, and I've said, you don't need to, why are you buying this stuff? You don't need to buy this. You don't need any of these products yet. There are other ways to sell these products. And I know, because I never kept inventory, never. In nearly 2 decades, I have never once had inventory. She ain't lying. Yeah, I will tell you real quick. Why are you spending your money on this? Because there are other things that you can be spending for. Why are you, why are you planning a photo shoot? You don't need that yet. That's money. There's so many other ways to sell a product without having a product. If you don't know, check out my podcast from Monday's episode. I literally just told my story where I started my business with $0, not a couple of dollars. No, I literally did not have $1 in my hand to buy a product. And then I still sold a product which helped get me into business. Okay, which got me into business. It didn't help. That's how I started 17 years ago. All right, so I'm positioning myself as an expert when I come on daily and I can talk to you about these different things, because they're things that I know and that I've done, and there's no BS involved. This is what I did, and it worked, and then I did it again with this business, and then I helped my friend do it over here with her business, and then she said, hey, why don't you help other people do this with their business? Because there's so many people out here telling people false things or ripping them off and charging them thousands of dollars to do that thing. Positioning. Okay, I have figured it out, and now I can help other people fast track it. So know, like, and trust. You know me, you know what I do, you know what I've done. You like me on some level. Maybe sometimes I get on your nerves. It's okay. Maybe I giggle too much. It's okay. You're still gonna get the goods, okay? Maybe I'm a little too silly sometimes, or corny, or bougie, or whatever else people want to call me. Maybe. But in there is that trust factor, because you know that Tori knows what she's talking about, which is what she just said. She ain't lying. They know that I know what I'm talking about at the end of the day. That's really what matters. Okay. And I'm tolerable. Okay. All right. So that can relate to a lot of different businesses. Like, think about authors. An author, and we've got authors in our community, a lot of them. You experienced something that you wanted to share that made you write a book. Okay. Now you may be at the point where you became the person who helps other people share why am I going through so much stuff today? Who helps other people share what they know so that they can write books. Okay? You've come from one place and now you've moved into this other place. So you may be sharing the experience in your book that you can help walk people through. For example, a mental health expert or a lifestyle blogger might end up being a life coach. Those are people who have experienced something and now they're helping move people in a shortcut to employ the skills that took you years to accomplish. Okay. Another one would be like selling clothes and accessories. You saw that there was something missing. Okay, so this is what you know. You know that there's something that's missing, and you know that you have that thing that's missing. So you took that and you fill the gap that no one else was able to provide because they can't do it like you'll do it. It's impossible. It's impossible to do it the same. There may be other brands out there that do what I do, but it's impossible for them to do it in the way that I have because only I have my experiences that are going to connect me to specific people. Okay? All those characteristics and all of those traits about you or about me connect you to a specific group of people. Okay? For the person who sells the clothing or accessories, you saw that there was so much expense attached maybe to getting this particular object or this thing or this product that you want to sell, that you had a way to bring this item to people in a way that no one else could because it fills their specific need, want, and desire. There is a science to selling to people. All right. It's not just, I got a great product. Let me connect it to Shopify or Squarespace, make my shopping cart and send it out on my Instagram story. And here come the sales. Hey. No, it doesn't work that way. I wish it did. I wish I could tell you that it did, but you know, I'm in the no BS zone over here. Okay. Then the people, your people will relate to this. They'll relate to you. So why do people struggle making sales? One of the biggest reasons is because your audience doesn't trust you yet. Why? Maybe you haven't been vulnerable enough. Maybe they don't believe because they haven't seen you enough. So they don't believe what you're saying. We live in a different time of sales. So they don't believe you because they don't see you enough. You're not talking enough about what it is that you're offering them. You're not talking enough about your brand and what it stands for and how it connects to those people. You aren't showing them enough about you and the product and the brand. Does that make sense? I want to make sure that that makes sense. So if you're teaching if your brand is around self-love or acceptance of yourself wherever you are, that could be any product. It really could. Well, not any, but there's so many products that relates to. Even if you sell clothing. So the question then becomes, how can I build a relationship with the specific person who understands, what it feels like to be me? Because there's you multiplied by millions. So how can you position yourself through content creation, through daily showing up for them and talking to them and showing them why you are right for them? They don't understand why you're right for them because you're thinking, I've got this great product. You're thinking as the business owner, I've got this great product and everyone should want it. I've got these cute cups and everyone should want them. I've got these cute t-shirts. But your customer's thinking, well, why does she think that I want that? That's all of us. That's every single one of us. So even me, when I do my stories daily, I'm thinking, and this is moving more into part 2 of this training, okay? But even when I do my stories, I am thinking, what did I get in questions yesterday or the day before? When I sent out my question, what was that person really asking me? And I feel like I answered one earlier, and I'm trying to think of exactly what the question was. So someone asked me, I remember, she said something like, what, would it be weird or something? I'm paraphrasing, but would it be strange if I worked another job while I'm trying to build my business or become an entrepreneur? Okay, so when I respond to that, I could go back to my story and now I have an opportunity to connect with another person, because a lot of the women that I've connected to are, maybe they're stay-at-home moms, or maybe they are in her position, but she doesn't know that about my brand yet. Perfect opportunity. And I might actually go back and do this later because I did reply with the story and I posted her post. Excuse me. But this weather, I tell you, it keeps switching up around here. It was ice cold and now the sun is out, and then I have to go to baseball in like in a couple of hours, and I'm gonna freeze literally outside. While Chrissy runs around on the field, me and Mello will be freaking freezing our butts off. But I can go back and now I can address her times a million, because there's other women just like her who are working other jobs. And I do say this sometimes in the stories. But now I can go in and I can say, you know what? For those of you who are really just, I can talk about it. I can relate to her in more than just saying, oh, I could easily send her a link to a product that she can purchase easily. But instead of doing that, I do what I do here is give value and show up, right? So I can show up for her and other women like her by saying, going back to that story and addressing what she's actually saying to me, which is, I work, so I'm busy, okay? But I also don't really have the funds or the finances to put into building my business. So there's that. The time factor may be an issue, because how am I supposed to build my business if I'm putting money into, if I'm working all the time? Sorry, how am I supposed to build my business if I am out working 24/7? Or does it mean I'm not as committed to building a business or being an entrepreneur if I'm working another job? Can I call myself an entrepreneur? Yeah, absolutely. Those are the questions that she's actually wanting to know. And she's come to me. So there's a no factor in there somewhere. The like factor and the trust factor come in from me specifically going back. And this is such a big one too. This is big. This is some of what I was going to talk to the socialites about last night that we'll be covering on Thursday. But those missed opportunities and revenue blind spots include not seeing your customer where they are and talking to the people you already have. So many people won't even reply to her. They will just keep right on going, or they'll do what I did initially, which was give that initial response and not create more content or more opportunities to connect with just her, because she's just one person, right? Why do I need to focus on this one person? Why do I need to pay attention to just this one person? Because this one person matters, because she's here. She is showing me and telling me that I want to be your target customer. How can you help me? See, we're so busy looking beyond to the next thing, to why aren't there 1 million people ordering a day with all this goodness I got to give? Why aren't 1 million people? Because you're not focused on helping the one person who's coming to you looking for help, who's coming to you looking for a product for you to offer them that can help them wherever they are, whatever it is. Even if it's a vanity product. If it's a vanity product, people want vanity products too. In the same urgency, with the same urgency that they want those more detailed and deeper products. It is exactly the same. Okay, I know I got off on a tangent, but I just felt like that was a really important point. And I was talking myself right there too for a hot second, because I've been giving myself the pop house today. Okay, with these not having a schedule for people like, Tori, get over yourself. Seriously, you don't want to do a schedule a couple days a week, knock it off. Okay. So yeah, it's important. It's important to think about the people that are already in your business so you're not creating blind spots for yourself. Okay. All right. Any questions so far? I know I went way off on a tangent, but that was something that hit me too. So your audience may not understand why you're right for them. The next thing we're thinking about is, or should be thinking about, is crafting your story to make people relate and then convert. Okay, this is all part of that lead page. And if your products aren't selling and flying off the shelves, they will be soon, because this is what we're going to be working on, is that I'm working on one-page funnels with everyone, because there are some proven methods to what sells the best consistently. And so I'm trying to get everyone through those cracks to exactly the formula and applying the formula into your business. All right. So the key to getting people to like you, big one, is not focusing on making people like you. Okay. Just like I was saying earlier, it's authentically sharing your story with them about yourself that relates back to what you sell and relates to them. How do you do that? Big question. That's what everybody wants to know. Would you think, would it be safe to say, just for you babes that are here, would it be safe to say that each person that's watching this has a product they sell that relates to something you're passionate about? And that could be for different reasons. But let me know in the comments, would that be something, your product, is it something that you're passionate about selling? Because essentially, that's how you sell products. You sell products by what you're passionate about. It doesn't need to like define you or anything like that. It simply needs to be something that you can talk about and help other people to understand why it's important. Okay, why it's important to them. And then you need to do this every day or every other day until they get why it is important and why it's relatable to them, why it comes back to them in their business. That comes through consistency. Stories, challenges, daily reminders, texts. Even the texts, I don't use my texts just necessarily for offers, right? Anyone gotten other text messages from me? They're not just about offers. Okay, not offers alone. I use them to remind you that someone cares, that you might be going through it at that day, that you're not alone, or at least you don't have to be. Okay, you don't have to be alone. You don't have to isolate yourself. You don't have to feel super stressed because nobody in your day-to-day gets it, or you're having a tough time putting your lead page together. Yeah, I get it. I get it. It's a lot of work putting those lead pages together individually. Okay. And then this all goes into the brand and the products that I sell. That all connects. The texting you, it connects. Right? Because I'm not just texting you, hey, come and buy this today. I just put this thing on sale today, come and get it. You might get a little bit of that here and there, but for the most part, what you're getting is an accountability partner and someone to encourage you, right? That goes into my products. Coaching, where you get my support, right? We have our coaching. You can message me and then I check back in with them every day or other day, or how often I'm in there, 3 to 5 days out of the week. And then we have the Socialite, where you get more than just me. You get a whole community of people. So if Tori's busy, you might post something in the private group and somebody's going to show up to support you, to remind you that you're not alone, to be like, oh my gosh, yes, I remember when I went through that too, or I'm currently going through that now. Anyone experienced that in our private group in the last day? Yesterday, I think it was Monday, there was a whole long thing, group text that was going on where everyone was just supporting and encouraging each other. It was crazy. It was bomb. AF. It was amazing. All right, and then beyond that, you also get resources. So it still is a building process of connecting, knowing, liking, this is a community that's for me, trusting, yes, I'm in. Okay. Now, do you guys have any questions? I'm gonna wrap up, but in the next part of the series, so this is really important for you today. I think today, what I wanted you to do was write down some of the things that, why people, number one, why people come to you, why they come to your business, what they're looking for. Okay, so what is it that you know that they are coming for? What's your product? What is your product, and how those two relate? Okay, that's an assignment that you can do that's going to help you sell better through this series that we're doing. All right, it's definitely going to help you sell better because you're going to put all of those elements together so that you've got an amazing lead page, one-page funnel, that we can start rocking your sales. All right, so like I said, in the next part of the series, we're going to talk about the features versus benefits. This is going to get good. This is going to get really good, and if you're not here for everyone, then it can get really complicated. So I am going to send a replay for just this video to the list so that everyone knows that there won't be replays from here on out. You got to show up. So yes, we're going to move into each part of putting together this amazing lead page little by little, 1 week at a time, so that you actually are able to, by the end, put all of those elements together and work on them little 1 week at a time. And then at the end, you've got this incredible product. Okay. Moving from the know, like, and trust, where the person has gone from just meeting you and then looking for you, to how to actually sell that product and positioning to that customer. All right, socialites, post any questions that you have to our private community. And if you're not one of us, you can definitely join us from the Getting Started page on our website. All right.